It's your man, the Gypsy, back in the building. New York Islanders hat. Repping New York Islanders. Big hockey fan. I'm a Rangers fan, but as I told you before, I collect hats. So, rocking the Islanders hat today. All right. So, uh, I will say this. I've been watching a little bit of TV, and some of the topics that I've been saying on here have mysteriously made themselves onto the TV. I ain't saying nobody watching or taking my stuff, but hey, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So let's jump right into it. No justice for Eric Garner. Very sad. Remember, he was the guy that said, I can't breathe 11 times, lost his life um, selling cigarettes. I believe it was selling cigarettes. But, there was no justice for him. Which is very sad. And William Barr, of all people, presided over the case and said that that it wasn't enough to press charges. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get videotape. You got the Eric Garners, you got the Rodney Kings, you got who else had video? The guy in Minnesota, I forget his name right offhand, but you get videotape and you still can't get convictions. So William Barr, hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more, no more. I can't wait till he's done. Eric Garner, 6'2", close to 400 pounds. If he really wanted to hurt that guy, he could have and probably should have. You see that situation and you wonder, like, he didn't fight back and still lost his life. Maybe he probably should have fought back and lost his life. That way you go out fighting. I was always told to go out fighting, don't leave no bullets in your gun, go out fighting and all that type stuff. So, just a sad situation. And prayers go out to the family, and hopefully one day this thing can be fixed. The injustice in the criminal justice system. Hopefully this can be fixed with some good conversation. Like I said, on my show, I talk about everything. I talk about sports. I'll talk about politics. This is real life stuff that needs to be talked about. So next subject: Bob Gibson diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. As a kid, I grew up watching Bob Gibson. Played 17 seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals. Was a 9-time All-Star. And was just a great player. Good man. As far as I know, 83 years old. Had an ERA of 2.91, 251 wins, 174 losses. And like I said, a 9-time All-Star, played 17 seasons for the Cardinals in the major leagues. Was nicknamed Gibby and Hoot after actor Hoot Gibson. And he was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 1981. So, prayers go out to Bob Gibson. Anytime you're dealing with cancer or any type of disease or illness, it's tough on the family. So, our prayers go out to him as well. Hopefully, Hoot, you get better, Hoot. All right, you got a guy here that grew up watching you. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him and his family and prayers. Bob Myers says there was nothing that the Warriors could do in order to keep Kevin Durant. I totally believe that. Because I think after the Draymond Green spat, I believe it was in Chicago or wherever it was, where Draymond Green called him the B word and said that, we won before you. I don't think Kevin Durant ever really got over it. I think he's a little bit of a sensitive guy, it seems like. And it's okay to be sensitive, because he gets into spats with kids on Twitter. Like he got into it with the 14-year-old kid on Twitter that one time. He created a burner account, so, he's a sensitive guy, so he probably wasn't going to let it go that easy. And that's probably what he did. So he probably held on to it, but, great job of being professional and not letting it fester and keep the team from having another championship run. They did have a championship run, just didn't end like they thought. They had a bunch of injuries. Klay Thompson goes down. The big kid, Kevon Looney, goes down. Kevin Durant goes down. So they had a lot of obstacles, but still, kudos to those guys for being professional. That's what being professional is all about, is not necessarily liking the guy that you play with or you work with, but you have the same goal at hand. So kudos to those guys for being professional. Because I'm just giving my opinion. I think that he never let it go. Kevin Durant never let it go. Another thing, okay, sticking with basketball, Kendrick Perkins issues a warning to Zion Williams about the food in New Orleans. So Kendrick Perkins said, "Look, dude, it's food everywhere. You know, you got the beignets, you got the crawfish, you got the crawfish po' boys, the shrimp po' boys. So watch out, young fella, eating wise, okay." And then he better listen because I worked in New Orleans for about 7 years. I worked with the Pelicans about 7 years as a scout, and I can tell you my personal experience. I went to New Orleans on for meetings, and we had meetings, and 3 or 4 days down there, you know, I gained about 5, 6 pounds in those 3 or 4 days. So, and I'm a pretty, thin guy. I'm about 240 pounds, 6'8", 240 pounds, but Zion is already a big guy. And it's going to be, he's got to really watch his weight down there. You got to watch what he eats, and just have to do extra training. But maybe I'm giving little tips, but maybe pick one day where you can eat that stuff. But for the most part, try to stay away from a lot of the. But there's some good, healthy stuff, healthy choices too. But don't have too much fun eating down there because it is good. It's delicious. I mean, the breakfast down there, the omelets, it's just unbelievable. When you go to New Orleans, you go there to eat. And when I went down there for scout meetings, we ate in the morning. We met for a couple hours, ate again at lunch, met for a couple more hours, then ate again at dinner. Then we go out to maybe a little bar or something and just sit around and eat again. So it's a lot of eating in New Orleans. So hopefully Zion takes heed to that warning and listens to Kendrick Perkins. But way to look out for the young fella, Kendrick. Uh, in other news, Jerry West says he's never been around a better organization than the Clippers. Okay, I'm going to add this. Jerry West is probably the definition of a class guy. You know what I'm saying? When you see a class, if they have the class guy in the dictionary, Jerry West picture is probably right there. Jerry West, Dr. J, those guys are class guys. Jerry West was with the Lakers for a long time. He was the general manager at the Lakers when I played for the Lakers. And he was always upfront, honest, pleasant. He treated the 12th man as good as he treated the starters, the first man on the team. So Jerry West is just a class guy. So I think that Jerry West has brought that culture wherever he's gone. He's brought that culture with him. He brought that culture to Golden State. You see what happened at Golden State. They became championship teams and championship contenders and stuff like that. So now he's been with the Clippers. I think he's going to bring that same culture to the Clippers. Now the Clippers, have been around a while in dire need of a championship. Never won a championship before. So I think Jerry West coming there, bringing that culture with him is what has helped the organization. Because in the past, the Clippers, owned by Donald Sterling, who didn't have the greatest of reputations. He had to give the team up because of racist remarks he said about Magic Johnson. So that's not something you want your owner to do. Steve Ballmer is nowhere near that, from what I understand. I have a friend that communicates with him, and he says every time he emails Steve Ballmer takes the time to email him back. You know what I'm saying? That guy is, a billionaire. I'm sure he got a lot of stuff going on, and he takes the time to email my partner back. I won't throw his name out there because I don't want to put him out there like that. But yeah, so Steve Ballmer must be a class guy. From what I understand, when he first got there, he kind of cleaned house a little bit and took care of a little bit of the stuff that he needed to take care of. So I mean that's great, to work around class people. There are a few other class organizations in the NBA, but Jerry West to say that he's never been with an organization better than the Clippers is big, because he was with the Lakers for a long time. And the Lakers, championship after championship, they were always competitive. So I think the same thing is going to happen with the Clippers. Lastly, Ezekiel Elliott says privately to someone that, well, this, this stuff leaks out all the time. He says that he will skip camp without if he doesn't get a new deal. All right, so uh, he's got 2 more years left on his contract. He's still on his rookie contract. He'll make 3.85 million this year, 9.1 million next year. So DeMarcus Lawrence, who's the defensive end, just got a 5-year, $105 million deal. But he was franchise tagged last year, and they took care of him this year. So the question is Jerry Jones going to try that with Ezekiel Elliott? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to tell Ezekiel Elliott that same thing? We don't know. And the Cowboys might have a problem. Dallas, we got a problem. Dallas, we got a problem. Not Houston, Dallas, we got a problem. Now, they also have to take care of Amari Cooper. And they also have to take care of Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dak is up now, maybe. I'm not, I got to do my little research on that. So Dak, I think Dak is looking for an extension too. So are they going to make Dak go out and prove that he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Because when you go to Dallas, you go to win Super Bowls. You don't go to just win 9 games. They go in every year with hopes of winning the Super Bowl, setting their goals high. They've got 5 Super Bowls. They've got 5 Super Bowls. So they're trying to always win Super Bowl. You know how Jerry Jones is. So that's going to be interesting to see what goes on with that. So also my last thing I would say. Okay, so Madden. A lot of these NFL players play Madden. A lot of them are upset with their rankings on Madden. Okay, let me say this. All right, I'm with you. I understand. But don't take it so personal, brothers. Don't take it so personal because you're upset with your rating, but remember, EA Sports got to cut you that check, for using your likeness. So get your money, holler at EA later. Like, look, man, but they, some of them are talking about boycotting the game and stuff. I know Keenan Allen was very upset about it. Tom Brady was a little upset about his rating. So I guess he was trolling EA Sports on Twitter. But every guy that I've seen has been upset about their rating. Guys, listen, NBA 2K20, I'm on NBA 2K19. I've been on for the past few years, but NBA 2K, they got my rating at like a 70. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute, I was at least a 77. You know what I'm saying? I'm better rebounder, defender, all that. I was at least a 77, but every January and every July, guess what they got to do for using my likeness? Hey, cut the check, man. Okay, well, if you think I'm a 70, all right, cool. They even got me wearing a headband. I wore a headband 1 game in 13 years. And on the game, they got me wearing a headband. I wore 1 game in Sacramento. 1 game my last year in the NBA, and they got me wearing a headband. You know what I'm saying? But brothers, don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Just let them send you your check and keep it moving. All right. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you for tuning in again. If you like it, send the thumbs up. If you don't like it, give the thumbs down. Tell me why you like it. Tell me why you don't like it. I'm trying to get better. Having a good time. I'm having fun with this. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I do this as a fun thing. I get tired of seeing everybody else's opinion. So, hey, I could do something on social media and give my opinion. Again, rocking the New York Islanders hat. Hey, I'm out. Remember, be nice, man. Life is short. Be around people that are positive and that are going to help you grow. All right? Peace. Have a great day.